I just want to shout out Taylor and Ilika because they just did a killer job, and Kaylin and Amanda just spoke on a little sneak peek and they crushed it. It was so cool to sit back and hear you guys tell your stories and where you want to go and just all of the things. It was awesome. And Taylor is officially a lifetime diamond, you guys. So dang, did we have some things with technical issues last week? Like, I mean, it really says a lot, guys, when you have a coach that will sit on the phone with coach relations for an hour, almost an hour and a half. Like literally she had it in the bag. There were just like some technical difficulties, and it was so cool to just see her fight for it. So fight for it. Always fight for it. She earned it in every single way. Taylor, I'm so proud of you. And I'm so excited to see what happens with your team here very soon, because her coach Miranda is very close to Diamond. Alika is super close to Diamond. So the more women that we can get to NLC, guys, NLC is 1-star diamond. Okay, so you just have to hold 1-star diamond for 6 or more weeks. And I know we'll probably get into some of that tonight, but make that a priority over if you're a brand new coach and you're at Emerald, like do it by the end of the year, because I just went to NLC in February and I can personally say that it was a game changer for my business. So I just can't wait to see what happens to this team next year when all of you guys get back from NLC. So congrats, girls. So proud of you. Love you. Bye.
Thanks, Mac. I am driving home right now, but I just wanted to hop on here. Super proud of my coaches, Miranda and Megan, and then I have 2 brand new coaches, Sylvia and Brandy. I don't know if they're on here or not, but if they are, awesome. Congrats for being on your first team call. If not, I hope they watch the recording. They're sharing transformation posts, and I'm super excited for them and just so proud of them. They've been doing the workouts and just absolutely crushing them. So they're just finally starting to like want to coach, and I'm just really proud of them. But I just mainly wanted to come on here and say thank you to Mackenzie, because last week when we were dealing with those technical difficulties, she got on the phone and we video chatted the entire time that I was like waiting on coach relations, literally freaking out, like wanting to cry, because I knew that I had my lifetime diamond rank like locked in, but not. And it was just, it was a very long hour-ish that I was stressed out, and she was there like for me the whole way, telling me to calm down and it was okay and everything was going to be all right. And I probably would have lost my mind if it wasn't for her. So thank you, Mac.
And I will attest to that because she was messaging me, getting some advice about, steps to take and whatever. So definitely, I think congrats to you, Taylor, but Mac, huge leadership for you that, it's just so inspiring. You care so much about the people that you help and that you're mentoring, and it just really says a lot. So I think without both of your efforts, we wouldn't be celebrating Taylor today. So definitely worth it.
I'll go. I wanted to shout out, first off, my Team Cup team. Y'all have been sticking with it and believing and leaning into each other. So Jessica A, Jessica R, Noelle, and Jill, I'm so proud of y'all and I love working with you. And Noelle, like especially, you've been implementing every single piece of feedback and you are sticking with your belief, girl. I know it's gonna come, so keep going. And Jessica A is one person from Success Starter Month 2. So I know you're going to be in that next test group. I can't wait. Also, Audrey locked in Success Club. I'm really excited. Her team is super close to Diamond. Genesis and Melissa, y'all are crushing it. And Allie Workman. She was a discount coach, guys, for like 2 years. And after Summit, she was like, okay, I want to come back. And she's one person away from Success Club in her first month back. So super proud of you guys. Keep up the great work.
Awesome.
I would like to shout out my coach Kim, who has really just come out of her shell, and it's been awesome to like watch her blossom and watch her take my feedback and everybody else's feedback and really lean into the team. And she will officially be Emerald tomorrow. So I'm super excited for her. And then also I wanted to shout out Jess A, who's been like my rock and is helping me like get back to my morning routine. And I've been stuck. So I've really been loving it. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, shout out to the teachers. I feel like y'all need that extra love right now. I know there's a lot of them on Flow Diggers, and I love y'all, and I'm super proud of y'all.
Anybody else? All right, well, I'm gonna get started. I'm super pumped to talk to you guys tonight. It was either prep for this call or take a shower, so I prepped for the call because I had to be prepared for the call. So sorry that I look like this, but it's just the season of life, you guys. I've always wanted to be that coach that can just show up like beautiful, like everybody does who speaks, and then here I am. But hey, I'm in my workout clothes from 10 a.m. Okay, so tonight we're going to talk, and usually how these calls go if it's on a guest speaker is we have really pretty slides, but every once in a while I like to just go old school. And how I built my business for the first 4 years, I should say, is I had a notebook. I would sit down with my brain. I would brain dump some of the most important things that I could think about on the topic, and I have about so many pages. And I'm just going to kind of give you my heart tonight on that, because this is a really, really important topic. One that you guys probably have heard before, but hopefully something that I say tonight can ring a bell or can strike something in your heart that encourages you to just see this business as the gift that it is and really leave this call being able to take clear and precise action. So I'll go ahead and start in telling you guys that I've been a coach for over 6 years now. And for the first year, I hate not having control of the mute. For the first my first year in the business, I started in February, and so I finished that first year. I was just shy of becoming a premier coach, not because I missed it because I was working for it, but because actually I didn't know about it at all. And after, when the new year started, and I went to a new leader conference and I learned about Premier and Elite and all of these things. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I go back and I look and I was like, dang, I was like, 6 points or 8 points, I think, away from achieving Premier in my first year. And I had no idea. And so I was super determined after that to start creating that title for our team. And ultimately, not going to lie, I created it for myself. I wanted to stand out in this business. I wanted to be known. There was a lot of people here, but I knew my work ethic, and I knew that I wanted to represent something really special. And I knew that in order to do that, I had to step up my leadership, which meant my team had to step up and ultimately become that elite title. And for the next 4 years, we held that title as a top 100 4-time elite team. And it was really, really special. The people that make up that team are all of you guys. Hope probably some of you contributed to that throughout those 4 years. And then when 2019 hit, and I kind of, for the first time in my life, dealt with something that I really didn't understand. I really couldn't control. And it was something that for the first time in my life actually took control of me, to the point where I basically at 5 years in just showed up enough to hit Success Club and kind of not let the team think that I quit because otherwise I just really wasn't there. And getting my footing back in 2020 and really like wanting to make it my year and my comeback year, and then COVID happening and all of these things, I still feel like I'm kind of treading, like I don't know where to go. I kind of feel like a new coach again. And then I'm questioning myself, like, am I even capable of doing this? Can I even do what I did before? I'm not sure. I look at my own elite points now in 2020 and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I have to do some miraculous work in the next 6 months if I want to have a shot at that redemption that I promised that I would do. So the first step that I took was I was like, I have to get connected. And if you guys are, I think it's diamond and above now, maybe 1 star and above now, you have the opportunity to connect to a corporate mentor. And that was something that I kind of island myself. I do my own thing. And I was like, nope, I need the accountability. I'm calling Wendy and I am getting on the phone with her, and I'm going to tell her exactly what I want to achieve and get some accountability that way. So as I'm reconnecting with Wendy and I'm telling her my story, and she just looks at me and she's like, okay, so what are you doing? And I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm doing, Wendy. Like, that's why I'm coming to you. Like, I need help. Like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, well, nothing's changed. Like, it's not any different. Like, what are you doing? And I was just like, kind of angry and a little mad because I'm like, Wendy, like, help me. Like, tell me what to do. What are other coaches doing? Like, I don't know. And she's like, Natalie, I'm telling you, nothing is different. Like, everything that you did to become a 4-time elite coach is the exact same shit you need to be doing right now. And I was like, okay. She's like, I don't even need to talk to you. Like, you just need to go out. You just need to go do it. And I was like, okay, Wendy, like, got it. So I leave that call and I'm like kind of like banging my head. Like, that wasn't helpful. And I'm, kind of like that little kid comes out of us who are like pouting because we just want somebody to help us and we want the answers, but they're like, no, I'm not helping you with your homework. Figure it out yourself type of thing. And I was just like, ugh. And when I got off that call, I really had to sit there and go, why can't I? Or why haven't I? Or what stopped me? And I was reflecting and I realized that I lost my balance. I lost my balance between my personal business and my team business. Because when I made that choice last year in 2019 to step back, it was because I had the ability to step back, because financially it wasn't going to hinder us, because the team had grown so much that the cycle bonuses that were coming in was still significant enough to support my family and do the things that I wanted to do. So I knew that I didn't really need to focus that much on retail sales, because that's not where my income is coming from 5 years in. It was really coming from team growth. So for me, I put all of my efforts into team, which meant I was there for my team. I was answering questions. I was, constantly in my inbox, talking to them every single day, basically managing, not even leading, just managing, trying to make sure that everything was in place and that everybody was doing it. And I was answering everybody's questions, and I was still coming to team calls and doing all the things that I needed to do, having one-on-ones when they wanted them, things like that. And as your business grows, guys, and this is something that whether you're a new coach or you're a seasoned coach, like, as your business grows, the demand grows, right? So, which means that we need to become more efficient in the activities that we started doing when we started. So, for example, a brand new coach, all you guys really need to focus on is retail sales. It's the only way that you're really going to make money when you start. You're going to become an emerald. You're going to dip into cycle bonuses, and you're going to start growing your income that way. But most of the time, like for me, when I was starting, it was like invite, crank out retail sales, upsell in every opportunity that I got, high success numbers, pour into my challenge groups with everything I have, get people results, rinse and repeat. But as you start developing that, what happens is it becomes a habit. And when things become a habit and they become easier for you, you can lessen the time that it takes to achieve that, and you can add something else to your plate, like building a team. And when you start building a team, what you're doing essentially is now you're juggling. You're juggling that personal, where that business activity tracker, where you wake up every day, you're connecting, you're inviting, you're hitting your success club goals, you're plugging into challenge groups, you're pouring into that, reading personal development, working on yourself. But then there's the other side of it, which is the team, where you're answering questions, where you're planning team calls, where you're hosting one-on-ones or coach opportunity webinars. And if you guys know this, it becomes kind of like like this, like sometimes half the month is probably this, and then you realize, oh crap, I need to start going back this way. And for me, what I realized from that call is I'm literally 100 to 0. Like I'm 100 to 0. So I needed to fix that. So what was happening to me was that I had become very reactive in my business, which means that I wasn't waking up every day saying, this is what I'm going to do with my day. I was waking up every day and letting my inbox control me. My inbox meaning all of my coaches' questions were getting answered. I was a slave to everybody's questions, everybody's tags. When they didn't know something, I was everybody's FAQ. When they couldn't figure something out, I was everybody's like blame board. Like I was just a completely reactive coach. And that's where my numbers have gone, is being that reactive coach. So I want you guys to think about where you're at right now before we get started with this call. Is, are you balanced? Are you one end of the spectrum, or are you the other? All right. So it made me think of that saying of like, we have to put on our oxygen masks first before that we can serve anybody else, right? And if I don't do that, if I don't take care of myself first, not like physically, but if I don't do those business activity tracker for myself first before I pour into my team, what ultimately happens is the disconnect, right? What ultimately happens is I start freaking out, wondering why I'm not growing. I start freaking out, trying to figure out like, why can't I do this anymore? Having those questions of doubt. When the reality is, if I just look at if I audit myself and I look, I'm not doing the work that it takes to achieve the goal. And hold on. If I don't pump the brakes, and when I say I hope you guys are thinking of yourself. If I don't pump the brakes and step back and create those blocks, right? Create personal business time and team time, I can't grow. And if I'm not growing, then I'm not leading well. And if I'm not growing and leading well, then I'm losing my confidence that I can do this business. And my success matters. It matters to the team. It matters to myself. It matters to my family. My energy matters. And guess what, guys? So does yours. So does yours. If you're not taking time every single day to create opportunities to profit in your business, then your pendulum is swinging on the complete opposite direction of growth. You every single day, if your number one priority isn't to profit in your personal business, you need to realign. You need to think, well, what am I not doing? Well, maybe I'm not inviting because that's a profit opportunity in our business. I'm not, whether it's showing your team how, whether you're trying to balance your legs with volume to create more income for that week's paycheck, like whatever if you're not focused on that, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're not inspired. Raise your hand if you are sitting at a place that you wish that you weren't at, but you feel inspired still. It's not fun. Like, awesome, Jessica. Like, good for you. Like, if I suck at my business, if I'm sitting in a place for 2 years that I don't want to be at, I feel like I'm uninspired. Like, I feel like I'm in a rut. I feel like I'm in my head. I feel like I'm not capable. I struggle and I have all of these self-doubts and I do all these things. So if I'm not growing, I'm not inspired. So how can I get re-inspired? Because if no one's inspired, then no one advances. None of us advance because we're all connected together. And if we all just sit here and sulk about it, if we all sit here and say, I'm not where I want to be, and this might not be for me, and I don't know if I have what it takes, versus putting on the CEO hat and getting to work, then another year goes by as not diamond, another year goes by as not elite, another year goes by as my income didn't grow. And you know what else? You guys signed up for Team Beachbody, not Mackenzie Beachbody, not Maggie Beachbody, not Danielle Beachbody, Team Beachbody. And if my coaches don't level up, that hurts my success. And if your coaches don't level up, it hurts your success. How big are our problems? Like, I think about, it's like I kick myself because I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about 2019 and how I was like, I literally have this whole narrative of how this, like, my whole life was ruined and all of these things. My problems were so big that when I was just thinking about myself, In my own business, how big was my problem? It was ginormous. But I know for me, and tell me if this is the same for you, that if I look at that same problem, but looked at it from a perspective of, well, it doesn't really matter because I have a team that's counting on me to show up. And if I don't do that, I'm letting them down. Is your problem still as big? Or are you motivated more to work more because you have people counting on you? I think sometimes we forget that we're counting on each other to see success. And we get so lost within our own problems that we don't realize that we're letting down the people on this call. If we let our problems get so big and our minds take over so much, we're letting down the people on this call. You're not just letting yourself down. It's easy to let ourselves down, but you're letting down me. You're letting down every single person on this call. I don't want to let my team down. Raise your hand if you don't want to let your team down. This is good accountability. This is not mean. This is not like, I love you guys. I don't want to let you down. I want to grow a big business for my family, but I also you're my team. You guys, you're counting on my success, just like I'm counting on yours. I want to be teammates with people that want to rally, when I win. Don't you want to have people on your team that want to rally when you win? Can you imagine becoming an elite coach and nobody giving a shit? Or becoming a diamond and nobody giving a shit? They got to know that they're a part of that. If my coaches don't level up and hit the goal, I don't get to celebrate in that success. Same for you. If your coaches don't level up and hit the goal, you don't get to celebrate in that success. So what's the answer? What would happen if we all just adopted this higher frequency of accountability? This higher standard for ourselves, that we're not just thinking of ourselves anymore, but we're thinking of everybody and the 44 people in these little Zoom boxes. It's one thing to say, I'm not going to do my business activity tracker today because my toddler was crazy, my husband and I got in a fight, work was hell. It's another thing to not do your business activity tracker and your team's counting on you. We can make excuses up for ourselves, but what's our excuse for our team? I want to be elite. I want to be an elite coach. I want to represent an elite team. I just said this, if my girls step up, don't step up, it doesn't happen. If the 5 women that I'm mentoring right now to diamond don't hit diamond, it doesn't happen. If they don't press on and pursue past that rank, it doesn't happen for them. They're not going to be elite coaches or diamond coaches. So while we're working on our whys, we're working for our whys, the other piece is this shared vision that we won't lose. Period. Hashtag that shit. We won't lose. No matter what, we won't lose. Or like what's his face says, inevitable. Yes, new team hashtag. We won't lose. Write that down. Put it on your mirror because let yourself think of your team. Hashtag we won't lose. It doesn't matter what is happening. We won't lose. We will still hit our goals. We will still show up for each other. We will still show up for the why that we have so deep inside of us. So how do we create that? Just like Keith says, we step into it. We become it, right? Second thing, step the frick up. And if I'm not stepping up and somebody on this call isn't messaging me telling me to step up, shout out to you, Mackenzie, always, every day. That's what we do. I am relying on people to help me build this business because they know it's what I want and because I've given them permission. That's what a team is. Did you guys play sports? Straight up, I was we were in the state title, at the state tournament for basketball. None of us went out there saying it was a we don't lose. period. If somebody made a stupid move or a stupid mistake, it's like, yeah, we're going to support each other, but it's like, what the hell are you doing? Get your head out of your ass and get back in the game. We've got a game to win. Guys, we've got a freaking game to win. And guess what? It's the fourth quarter. It's the fourth quarter of the year. It is our freaking time to show up because this is the planting season. This is the planting season. Everybody's going back to school. Holidays are going to come and go. Election season. There's all kinds of shit that's going to happen, and a bunch of people are going to get really stressed and gain weight. But guess what? You're going to commit to a freaking program and get results. You're going to show people how to make healthier choices over the holidays and not gain the extra weight that is going to continue to derail their mental health that has already gone completely to shit because of COVID and Black Lives Matter and every other children trafficking and every other thing going on in the world right now. The last thing people need is to hate themselves. And that's where we have an opportunity. My sync, my jam, I'm 3 days into 100% on this program, and it feels amazing. It feels amazing. It doesn't take long to feel amazing. It's harder to make the decision to commit than it is to actually commit. Because once you're committed, it's just done. There's nothing else to think about. You just do the damn thing. I spent 3 weeks deciding if I was going to do it. Just do it. Get results. That's our job. We're coaches. We get results and we show other people that it's freaking possible no matter what. Become it, step up, and don't expect from other people what you're not willing to do yourself. Your teammates. Don't go give your teammates all of this homework if you're not out there showing up every day for yourself and doing the same stuff that you're having your team do for you or with you. Create non-negotiables. Getting results has to be a non-negotiable. Showing up consistently has to be a non-negotiable. Helping people has to be a non-negotiable because if you don't have a business. And we're all here because we want to build businesses. My mentor, Wendy, that I was talking to, I talked to her last Wednesday. She's holding me accountable to be at Success Club 20 next Wednesday with 2 to 3 new coaches. I just hit 6. And part of me is like, oh boy, like, I don't want to let her down. The other part of me is like, I don't think I can do this. But what I've realized in times like this, in the fourth quarter, I don't have time to sit around and think about who. And I don't have time to sit around and think about doubting myself. The only thing I have freaking time for is to take action, is to put myself in a solution-driven mindset to figure it the fuck out, period. So what am I doing? I hold a coach opportunity webinar. I invite to coach opportunity webinar. I run coach opportunity webinar. I record coach opportunity webinar. I send all of my downline coaches an email with a replay of my coach opportunity webinar. And then what am I going to do again next week? Plan my next coach op, invite, launch, repeat. Bring new coaches onto the team. That's the goal. What about for Success Club? I need to help 7 more people by next Wednesday. I haven't helped 7 people in a week in a year. What am I going to do? Freak out? Or am I going to find a solution? Switch my brain to think of solutions. So now I'm thinking about all of the new renewals and upgrades that came in August and September. I'm thinking about running a whole customer report and working from a list of people that I've already helped in the past that might want to re-engage and start over again. I'm inviting on my social media. I'm running new challenge groups, possibly 2, and I'm following up with every single no that I've ever had. solutions, not freaking out, figuring out what the hell that I need to do. And I want to end with this, and then we can go a different route. If you guys want to talk or chat more, or no freaking out, figuring out if you want to chat more. But I want to end with this. And Wendy's like, let me just ask you something. She's like, why are you here? Like, why are you still doing this? And it was immediately the same exact response that it's been since day one. I have to. I can't afford not to. Because I refuse to not be present in my daughter's life and to miss basketball games or whatever sport that she decides to pursue if she ever does, or graduations, or travel to see her when she goes to college, wherever she goes. I refuse to not be able to not afford that and to not be able to hop on a plane and go do the things that we want to do. I refuse to feel like I need to worry in 3 years when my husband gets out of the military, that we've lost that income, we've lost that insurance. I refuse for that to even be an issue. There is no other opportunity or career that offers this much growth dependent on our own work ethic. If you guys want to go from, like, please put the disclaimer all over this shit, but if you guys want to go make 6 figures next year, guess what? You probably could. Hit 15-star diamond and you're getting $50,000 a quarter. A quarter. What are we sitting here waiting on? In order for all of us to win, we all have to win. Like, no man left behind. If somebody on this call thinks that their rank or income or volume or consistency does not matter, it jeopardizes the team. It jeopardizes the team. I thrive off that accountability to know that you guys are my teammates. Do you? And imagine if you have this much passion about your team, we have 44 people on this call. If we can have 100 people on this call by December who all have this mindset of I won't lose, of no matter what, of I'm not going to let my people down, we will be unfreaking stoppable. The coaches that are successful are the ones that have badass people on their team. It's not because they're badass. It's because they have badass people that make up the entire team. An elite coach, a top 10 coach, a 6-figure earning coach, a diamond coach, that is because of their team. And at some point, there has to be a shift where you realize that how you show up is exactly the type of team that you're going to create. If people don't come to team calls, but they want to hold team calls to try to get their team rallying because they really want to hit diamond and nobody comes, start showing up yourself. We've got serious work to do because we have 44 people on this call and we only have probably not even a third that are in the top 1% of the company. Why are we all not at least diamond or above? Diamond is 8 people. You can do this. And then you can teach somebody else to help 8 people. And then that can become a standard on the team that can happen within the first 60 to 90 days. And I am not insulting. I am not trying to make people feel sorry that haven't achieved that goal yet. But I'm telling you right now that the only reason you haven't is not because you're not capable. It's because you've yet to put all of your feet in and be 100% committed to complete action every single day to make it happen. Everybody, we put so many people on a pedestal. What if you would just stop, if you would take the energy that you watch people and that you put on a pedestal and apply that to yourself and the self-belief and the action and the personal growth, what you could do in the next 30 days. Anybody else want to go anywhere with this?
All right, so since nobody else is saying anything, you have me like super fired up right now and excited because I don't know, sometimes we all just need that push and just like the reality, you know, not everybody's perfect. But anyways, I was thinking as you were talking, and I know like August is Team Cup month. I don't know if like maybe anybody else would be willing, but like September, if we did some kind of like Team Cup within our own team, like throw in $10, whoever wants to enter some kind, I don't know, we can come up with like rules or whatever we want to do and give like gift cards away. I don't know, whoever brings in the most coaches, most success club points, most like have a couple different things. I don't know. I'm just like thinking of ideas that we can all push ourselves and ways to like give back to each other. I mean, everybody loves a good competition, so.
For sure. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm always down for rallying. I work better that way.
Yeah, that's a great idea, Taylor. I really like that. You know what, Natalie? I loved how you put it so simple. Like, because we don't think about it in a simple way. You help 8 people and show someone else how to help 8 people. It's like, duh. You know, it's like that's like, and for whatever reason, how common sense is that? But we just don't look at it like that. We're like, oh my goodness, how is this going to happen?
Absolutely.
You know, as opposed to just opening it up like that. Like that, I felt like that was like, poof. For me, like I'm ready to help 8 people and show someone else how to help 8 people right now.
Totally.
I love that.
I got to help 7 in the next week, so let's go, girl. Like,
right. I'm with you.
I'll add that, you know, I just think like Natalie said, it's so easy to look at someone and say, they're not going through something, this isn't hard for them. And I know for me, very recently, I was just kind of opening up to Maggie a little bit about it today. It's so easy to get stuck in that spiral of looking at what you need to do and being so stuck in, can I do it? Will we do it? Like Natalie was saying, like all those questions, it's so easy to just doubt yourself, when in the reality, instead of freaking out, we have to figure it out. And like this call just really reminded me that like I'm basically just wasting my time and making myself miserable by being in that state mentally. And it's not always going to be a podcast, guys, that pulls you out of it. It's not always going to be a workout. It's not always going to be like those things that are mundane maybe to you at this point that you've been doing all of this time. Sometimes it's talking to somebody in this business. It's getting on these team calls, and it's just taking action and reminding yourself that like you're basically just like prolonging your dreams and putting yourself through absolute misery for no reason because your mind is yours. It's no one else's. It is nobody else's to have control over. It is yours. So I just like my accountability to myself and for this entire team is to stop getting stuck in the how, the what, the can I, the will we, and just like stop yourself in that and ask yourself, am I just wasting my time spinning my wheels when all I have to do, like Alika said, is show up and believe that it's possible for myself. So this call was, you know, I talked to the girls and I was like,
we need to rally because we need a vision as a team. And what that vision for you could look totally different than what it is for me or what it is for the girl next to you. But you have to know that all of us together are so much more powerful than trying to be on these little islands and having our own separate freakouts. Okay. Like, we have to make a pact at this point, guys, to be together. If you're freaking out, freak out to somebody. Like, don't put yourself on an island, because we all want to help each other figure it out.
I have to say too is that your freakouts aren't unique. Like, sorry, right, but we've all doubted ourselves. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, exactly.
I freak out every day. So
we all freak out.
Yeah.
I had a question. So, like, I know Natalie's been elite 4 times, Mac's been premier, Maggie's been premier. Are there anybody on the call who's been a contributing factor to those team accomplishments and wants to talk about their experience in being one of the people that contributed to it, whether you were an emerald that helped one of the diamonds for the advancement, or, you know, contributing to the success club points every month? Like, hearing it from your perspective, where it may seem sometimes to newer coaches you're just doing these smaller, more baseline things that we talk about are non-negotiables in the business, but they are part of something so much bigger. So I don't know, you know, everybody's on the call or who was part of those teams, but I thought it'd be good to hear from them.
Great question.
If anyone doesn't want to go, I will just say very quickly that I was a brand new coach. I think it was Natalie's first elite year, or maybe her second elite year. I'm not really sure. And guys, I was just like brand new. I came to these calls. I was super inspired. I was still bartending. Like, I had no really clue what I was doing. I was just really excited to be here. And I was like, I really want to do big things in this business, but I don't even know if I can. Like, I kind of just had that like naive mindset of like, I don't know if I can do this, but she set the bar really high. And I just remember knowing that I wanted to be part of that. Like, I didn't even truly get the whole $18 a cycle and like really understand how my income was going to be like unlocked from diamond, because it will be, guys. But guess what? The week that you hit diamond, you're not going to start making thousands and thousands more dollars. Like, you're just not. Like, it just doesn't happen that fast. Like, that's just not how it's going to happen with the cycles. So a huge thing for me about getting to diamond was about being a part of something bigger than myself. And by doing that, and by putting myself, like leveling myself to that type of a mindset where she expected that out of me. Like, I wasn't afraid for that to be expected out of me, because in my mind, I'm like, she wants me to become greater than I believe I am right now. And if I'm going to do that, I want to do that with a group of women. Like, I can't do that on my own, right? Like, I was able to level up into that person because I was a part of something bigger than just a goal that I had for myself. And I think that's the whole point of the call, is like, when you are doing it with people, you don't want to let those people down. But I don't know what kind of business I would have built if I hadn't had, number one, that team around me, but number two, someone who wasn't afraid to say, this is what I want for our team. This is what I want you to be. This is how I want you to be a part of it. Level up to that. And I was like, okay, because I want to be successful in this business, right? So you're either going to live up to the expectations that people have for you or live down to them. So any coach on this call that's like, oh, I'm just afraid to tell my coaches like my dreams and my goals and my visions, that's where it all starts. Like, your vision is going to help them unpack their own vision. And then by her being unapologetic in that, I learned to be unapologetic in what I wanted in this business. And that really just starts to trickle down. So I will say that, Jess, that was an awesome question. You know, trying to be one of those diamonds for that team that year and holding that and like going through that with those girls, it really showed me what I was capable of through doing that. And so by feeling that sense of like, I'm capable of more than I realized, because she held me to that, you know, to that expectation. And then also because I wanted to be a part of that with my team, it helped me dream bigger and do bigger things in my business. And I think like the next year I was crazy and went full time before I was ready. But that's what happens when you start to believe in yourself. You do crazy things and you achieve your dreams. So it all starts there. Okay. So, you know, even if you guys' goal is like premier, like reach out to those people that you think would be amazing. And if you haven't even found those coaches yet, you might be like, I don't have coaches on my team. Don't be afraid to start casting that vision, because like the moment you believe in like your gut that it's going to happen, you will attract those people to you. Like, you start talking differently, you start walking differently. Everything about you, I feel like, shifts. So don't think small in that aspect. I hope that kind of, you guys hear that.
I want to add to that for a second. And then if anyone else wants to contribute to Jess's question, I think that would be great. But just what you're saying, Mac, is like, so for a while too, like being the coach that's actually like pushing the team to achieve the goal. I don't know if you guys have ever felt this way, but I've gone through many seasons throughout coaching where I'm like, this feels selfish. I feel like everyone's working for me. But in reality, what I realized was that no, they're working for themselves, because ultimately they're here because they want to build a business. They want to level up anyway. So putting this level of accountability on people does nothing but help bring them into a new level. And like Max said, is when she achieved that goal is when she started to realize, like, oh, I can do so much more. Like, Alex, what did I just say to you on our one-on-one? I think it was Tuesday. I was like, I just can't wait till you hit this stupid goal so that we could start focusing on like what's next, because it's like just getting to that point. You need to get to that point because it's going to create this belief in you that you can do so much more. And I don't feel bad at all for pushing Mac, because like 5 years ago, she literally didn't have 2 pennies to push together. And this year she got a house for her family to come down and have Thanksgiving. So, I mean, it's really freaking cool, guys. And it's like emotional at the same time. Like, don't be scared to push your people, because it's what they need to achieve their goals. So.
I was going to go along with that. I've been getting the memories coming up from like my past posts over the years. And I would challenge all of y'all to make your goals public. You know, I think sometimes we really struggle with like, ooh, what are people going to think? Or like the way that Natalie expressed that she never wants to tell her daughter, like, I can't be there or we can't do this. Like, I have that for my future family. And I talk about that regularly with my team, but are y'all sharing that publicly? Because that's going to attract people to you that have those similar goals. And y'all can't be bashful about what you want. And I see those posts from 2015, 2016, and I get asked like, but how did you do it? How'd you build the big team? And I'm like, because 2015 Danielle was like casting that vision, not just within her coaches, but to my posts on social media. And I wasn't just like the fitness robot, you know what I mean? So I would challenge each of you to like make a post this week and make your goals public. Like, why do you want to build it? Why are you putting in the work on the team calls? Why, like that why has got to be shared over and over again, because it's going to be a lot easier for people to be like, yeah, that thing, I'm going to work for it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I remember specific incidents my second or third year, I don't even remember now, where I was like, oh, I'm paying off these student loans. And it's like, I didn't know how the hell I was going to pay $30,000 in 8 months. Like, I had no freaking clue. Like, I didn't have the financial security yet to just throw that extra $3,000 to $4,000 a month to achieve that goal. But I put it out there. And when you put it out there, shit happens, because you do not want to be the person that, you know, doesn't hit the goal. And if you don't hit the goal right at the time, you'll hit the goal shortly after. Like, because it's just a different level of accountability. Like, same with all of us. Like, the fact that I told you guys out loud that I have to help 7 people by next week, to somebody that might be easy. But to me, that's not something I've done in a very long time. So it's like the nerves, the sweaty armpits, like all the things. But it's like, I want to go out there and achieve it that much more, because now I'm being held accountable to do so.
Jess, I'll kind of add to your question, because I am a newer coach, and I don't think that I contributed to Maggie's 2020 premiere, but I'm definitely contributing to whatever she gets in 2021. And so for me as a newer coach, like one of the first few calls that we had, Maggie would talk about, you know, like, okay, we'll be here in 5 years. And so in my head, I was like, okay, bet I'll be here in 2. Like, I'll be here in 5, I'll be here in 10, I'll be here in 20, but I'm going to make that 5-year goal a 2-year goal. And then she would say, there's nothing to say that you can't, you know, surpass my income. And I was like, okay, bet, you know. And for me, this whole time, it's just kind of been like back against the wall, got to do it. And half the time, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm watching people who do. I'm watching people who inspire me, who are successful, and they leave clues. And so I'm just going to do and then figure it out. And, I've hit diamond and I've held it. And Maggie and I talk about income like pretty much every freaking Thursday. But this is like the first month that I've seen that like residual bonus start to like not stress me out. Like, is it there? Where's the volume? What's going on? What's this going to be? Like, I'm starting to figure it out, and I'm 4 or 5 months in. So I just think like a lot of times for newer coaches, when you hear someone say like, okay, do this, get competitive. Like, there's nothing wrong with being competitive. Maggie probably wants me to outdo her in the most loving way. I don't know. Like, we can compete over it, but she's not going to be mad at me, And so they set the tone, and then I don't know, whatever. That's my tidbit as a new coach, is just get competitive and just go for it, even if you don't really understand it, because the people that are guiding you, they're not guiding you wrong.
Any final words? That was really good. And I'll speak for Maggie. Yes, it would be flippin' awesome if you out earn her, because her volume would be legit.
Yes, I was typing all the yeses and hell yeses in the chat over here. Okay, one more like little thing, but I thought this was what Amanda was going to say, but recently, so Amanda is actually in my spouse account, and another coach, Elena, is the other diamond in my spouse account. And so recently I put it out there to them like, hey guys, like, we're going to hit 2-star. And when we hit 2-star and hold it for 6 weeks, I'm going to earn that bonus. And if I earn that bonus and also the 2-star bonus in my primary account, I'm going to put all of that money towards a retreat for you guys. And like, you will have already earned it because you will have held for those 6 weeks with me. And so I think for me, like, I am someone who struggles with team goals and wanting to make sure that like my people know that like this is a team approach, and like what comes to me like in knowledge and in income is also going to be passed on to you. And so not that all of my income is going to go towards team retreats, but that has been a really fun and rewarding thing for me already to be able to say is like, here's a specific goal. Here's how you are specifically like contributing to that goal. And here's what's going to happen when we hit it together as a team. And so like we have a retreat on the books, and the two of them and a lot of other people contributed to it. And that was really powerful. And Amanda, like, I hope you felt that, because it was like we were all in that 6-week hold together. Like, she hit diamond for the first time, and I'm like, all right, hold it. And you're getting a retreat, baby. Let's go. And it was really fun and empowering to check in every single week. And so even if it's not a team retreat, like, look at what you guys can do together and like what goals you can create and work towards together. And that can be really, really fun to do. So that's all I wanted to say.
Such a great idea. Anybody else? This is also what makes these awesome too, is when you guys talk, like, this is your team too. So speak up.
Hey, one thing I did want to say, Natalie, when you were talking about missing your kids' events potentially, right? That like hit me to my core, because 4 years ago, I missed my son's preschool graduation. Like, I missed it. I couldn't go because I was at some random like company, whatever, right? And so like, I literally vowed to myself in that moment that would never happen again. Like, it sucks. Like, you only graduate from preschool once, and I know, some people it's not a big deal, but it's like, I was literally watching on FaceTime. So it's like those little moments is when that vision is created. It's like, this will not happen again. From now on, I'm going to be at everything, and I'm going to make this happen for my family, and that's just the kind of mindset that like totally changes the game, in my opinion, at least.
I totally agree. It's, you got to find something that is that powerful to you. And I think a lot of times people struggle to know what that is. But I think the minute that you find it, it's like, of course we're going to lose it every now and again because life and things. But the minute that that's why it's really good to wake up every day and do like those gratitude journals, or write down your goals, or because you're just setting that intention for what you're working for. And it really just sets the pace for the whole day. All right, well, we have nothing else.
I'll say one more thing because I don't know if everybody's watching the chat. Danielle and I are both just putting our teams on blast right now, seeing if somebody will unmute because we do monthly YouTube videos on letting them know where we are as a team on our progress towards Road to Elite and how each person plays an individual role. So we're asking somebody to unmute and share how those videos are helping them, because a lot of them are newer coaches coming in, hearing those things and understanding, hearing maybe Premier Elite for the first time. So somebody go in and unmute because I think it'll be good to share.
Danielle just put me like legit on blast in the chat right now. She's like, go for it. And I don't even know what I'm going to say because honestly, I'm a newer coach, and so I know that I'm working towards a bigger goal, but I'm also working towards my personal goals. So I don't have a family yet, but I don't want to be the mom that has to miss events, and I don't want to be the mom that I'm going to cry, Jesus God, that has to say no. So that's like, I know that I'm working for me, but I'm working for them too. So I don't know, you're a part of something bigger. So when you get the updates, it kind of, it pulls me out of a funk really, because I'm a teacher and I just started back at work and things look differently and it sucks. But having this team and working towards that goal, not only for myself, but for everybody else, it just helps so much to know that you're a part of something bigger. So I don't know. Some days I work and some days I'm like, oh man, I didn't do my business tracker. And then I feel sorry for myself. And then the next day I'm like, you know what, Jess, like yesterday is history. Like tomorrow's a new day. Just do it.
Absolutely.
Yesterday sucked and there was no reason why it sucked. You just kind of fell into that trap, but you can pull yourself out of it.
I'll say two things. The first thing is that I was 23 when I started this business, and I had the same goal then that I did, and I didn't have kids. And I said the same thing, that like one day when I have a family, like that won't be an issue. And now actually having a child, I can't imagine if it was an issue, because I can't imagine it. And you know, we all have our different goals, and it doesn't, I've spoke about this on team calls before where people have gotten off, actually quit because they were like, well, I don't feel that way, so you know, like I must be wrong because I want to go to work and I want to do these things. No, I'm just telling you to be passionate about whatever the frick you're passionate about. And that's the thing that I'm passionate about. So find what means something to you and dive into that with everything that you have. And if that's your goal right now, and if you can see that vision, that's a gift. Because the second thing I'll say to that is, like, you're right about the business activity tracker. One bad day doesn't make a bad business. Like, if you guys can get in the mindset of like, I'm here for the long game. Like, I'm not here for 2020. I'm here for the long game. And one day is not going to alter my entire success. And you're going to have multiple days like that. And if you can just keep it, I'm like, there's no plan B. I'm here and I'm going for it. And no matter how long it friggin' takes, it's going to happen. And stick with that and you will go so far.
Yeah,
real quick.
I feel really bad.
Nat, real quick, just on top of what you said when you were like, play the long game. The first time that I heard you talk on a team call, the very first thing you said was, I'll never quit. And I wrote that down and I sent a picture of it to Maggie. And so like on top of hashtag, you know, we won't lose, hashtag, I'll never quit. Because if you never quit, you got it.
Let's make a pact that just random times throughout the week, somebody's going to write in the page with a hashtag, like, so, like just throw it up in the page, hashtag, and then we're all going to like comment, just like random, like be random, because that might be the thing that needs to get somebody out of the funk that day, like as a reminder of this call.
Nat, I have something to share too.
Hey girl.
So, sorry, I'm in my PJs right now. So just everyone be warned.
Sorry, I'm in my buddy clothes from this morning.
Yeah, I graduated from those about an hour ago. So when I started, I was very set. Like I used to not be an alpha. Like I feel like now I am. Like I'm like, I want to take charge. I want to take control ever since I've had my own kids. And you know, all of us moms on here, there's some of us are moms, some of us aren't, but you know how we like to take control in our kids' lives, and it's just like, okay, we're alpha. But in this business, you can't always rely on you. And I let that get to me, and it
brought me down to the point where I wasn't attending these team calls, and because I thought I had to go create my own thing, and still I did, but now I'm attending these team calls. And the one thing that Mackenzie said to me, she was like, listen, it's not all you. You don't have to do this on your own. You're not alone here. And when she said that, I was like, oh, okay. It was like almost like I just needed someone to say, hey, you can join us too. I think it was just part of my childhood. I was never accepted. So honestly, it was just like, don't feel like you're ever alone in this business. Always reach out for help. Do your leadership development. I did not know that I needed leadership training. And I cannot stress this enough. Do not leave out leadership training. Do it every single day in your business, and you will grow. Now, don't go run out and tell your teams all this stuff, because then you're going to overwhelm them like I have in the past, and I lived and learned. But definitely implement this in your own day-to-day routines, and that is going to help you guys a lot. But I just want to shout out to Mackenzie and whoever else was on here. Danielle was another one who made a huge impact in my business too, was pretty much, hey, Maddie, get over your ways and stop sharing keto. And guess what? I'm no longer keto, so just so you know. But I did change my whole profile about who I am, and not so much keto. So really listen to these people in this group and in this community. Reach out and ask for help. Just because you're not a part of their upline or haven't contributed, your leadership or something that you may say can contribute to their business. Okay?
Awesome advice. Awesome. All right, guys, it's 9:02, so we're going to wrap up. Thank you for those that stayed the full hour with us. You guys rock. And yeah, Danielle's going to get this up recorded. It'll be in the photo albums. If your teams missed it, send it to them, because it's crucial that they know that they have a role here, and that they matter, and that we all matter. So let's go kick some serious Team Cup booty these last 10 days, and everybody help 7 people in the next week. Okay, bye. See ya.